YouTube, what is going on? It's Donatus here from the 54 Immortals. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the current ranked scene in Apex and how the pros feel about it, how casuals feel about it. Definitely let us know your thoughts about the current state of ranked in Apex Legends and what could be improved or what needs to stay the same. If you enjoyed the video, as always, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And without further ado, let's get right into it. So starting off here, we have a tweet from ImperialHal, the CEO of Apex, and his thoughts about the current state of ranked. He says, Apex has been very boring recently. The influx of bad players in ranked has been insane, where the lobbies are just filled with one-half good teams or 90% Masters players the entire time. I'm guessing the changes that were asked for a while now are showing the consequences. Hopefully the ranked system is changed drastically or a lot of people will lose interest in ranked. Maybe I'm the only one that has been feeling that way, but from playing every day, the last two splits have just been glorified pubs to me. Obviously, he brings up a couple major points here, one of which being the influx of bad players in higher skilled ranked games. I think this is obviously due to an incredible amount of not only cheaters but Smurf accounts. You guys find this everywhere where people will make new accounts. People have absolute bot friends, absolute noobs that they'll just make Smurf accounts. They'll just boost their friends up to Plat, Diamond, or even Masters. These people might not even get a kill the entire time they're playing, but they can still rank up so easily. There definitely needs to be something done about the Smurf accounts, that's for sure. And you do have pros, beginning to lose interest. EnergySweet says that he used to grind ranked all day, every day, but it's been a lot harder lately. Things just seem to be getting boring for them. I mean, it's kind of in a similar state as Fortnite, where all these pros are just going on and dropping absolutely crazy games back to back to back. I mean, you have Daltouche, who's like a top 50 pred right now in Apex, and he's going into pred lobbies, which theoretically are supposed to be filled with Masters players, people who are skilled at the game, and he's dropping a 26 kill game, 4,600 damage. I mean, that is insane. That's like, those are Fortnite stats, and this is in a 60 player lobby, not a 100 player lobby. So just himself alone in a pred lobby is killing basically half of the players in the game. I mean, something definitely needs to change in terms of that. However, you can't argue that Preds, while it's only the top 750 players, they are still Masters, and you can't make separate queues for them or hone down more on the skill-based matchmaking, because queue times are already pretty bad for players, in Masters or Pred lobbies. And strengthening skill-based matchmaking will make these worse, and especially for content creators who pretty much 99% of the time are playing games like this on stream. Their viewers aren't going to just want to watch them, play Lobby Simulator for 20 minutes before getting into a match. With that being said, Hal went on to say that, there is a lack of challenge in the game. It's making it boring. And he's saying 5 KP seems way too low for the max KP. So could they increase max KP in order to, add some challenge, create it so players need to, be more active in games and do more damage, get more KP in order to see positive RP in the end? That's a potential option, although some would argue that this could even turn it more into a ranked system like Fortnite, where if the KP limit was increased, people would just be W keying everybody, mindlessly fighting, mindlessly third partying, getting themselves killed half the time just to get the KP. I don't know if this would be a legitimate fix for Apex to implement, but on the other hand, I think the most competitive thing about Apex is playing end games, especially. It's different than a game like Fortnite where you don't have builds. You have to predict zone, you have to find cover in the open, in buildings, behind rocks, under bridges, things like that. So I think if players were to be incentivized to stay alive longer and the games were to last longer and not die out as fast, I think that would really help ranked feel more competitive, especially for the pros. You watch scrims and it's like 19, 18 squads left after 2 zones have already closed. And in ranked, you'll find a game where it can be 10 squads left after 2 zones, 6 squads left, 15 squads left. If there was more RP for placement, people could be incentivized to stay alive longer, play smarter, not go into those mindless third parties just for KP that in the end doesn't really do that much for you. And obviously, I think you're going to become a much better player IQ-wise if you're incentivized to stay alive longer, play for endgame, play for positioning, and win games. So I think maybe adding more of a stress on the RP towards placement instead of KP, or another potential fix for this could be just decreasing the max RP per game. That way, you know, you keep the KP system as it is, you keep the placement system as it is, but you just decrease the total amount of RP players are getting per game. That way, one, it's harder for people to rank up, so it actually takes skill or just repetitive play time, which, you know, for someone that's not as skilled, or for people using Smurf accounts boosting their friends, this could de-incentivize them, as they wouldn't want to, you know, just sit around for hours and hours and boost their bot friend to get up to masters, to then just lose fights to, you know, preds and pros. And you would also have the pros having to play more games, having to play for placement more, feeling like the game is more competitive in some way. Moving on from this as well, EnergySweet also says that it's a sad reality that people who have played, you know, 5,000, 6,000 plus hours, they've played since the game launched, and they only get the thrill of Apex from a hype endgame or sweaty rotation. Oftentimes these are in scrims, they're not even in ranked games. That's the only thing that does it for them. So Respawn, EA, Apex, they've got to do something to please their long-term players, the people that, you know, are streaming this game every day on Twitch, the people that play this game for a living. They've got to do something to retain these players and keep them from moving on. Fortnite has had a huge issue with this recently. They've had a lot of professional players quit for this exact reason. It's just been boring, it's repetitive, and the game just isn't fun anymore. So something's got to change in order to keep the game spicy, keep new players coming in, and keep the old players in the game. Energy Rogue bringing up a good idea that rewards make it worthwhile. He thinks that rewards are missing from the game, or partially missing. The trail isn't permanent or good looking, the charm's eh. Is it worth grinding to Predator to just get a trail that you're gonna lose, you know, after the split, or just a weapon charm that you can only put on one of your guns? Could there be certain variations for Legends? G brought this up in the recent Fortnite Season 3 Chapter 2 wishlist video, where he talked about for each rank there could be a certain skin that you get, or a certain variation of a skin. That could be really interesting to see people with different variations of their legend skin in order to showcase what rank they're at. It might be more worth grinding for, and something that might be a little more permanent or a little more rewarding than a dive trail. And then finally, just from the perspective of someone kind of on the outside looking in, but, you know, someone who's got their feet in both sides of things, TSM Collazo, he's been absolutely grinding Apex recently, but we all know him as a Fortnite pro. He says it's really interesting reading this after dealing with Fortnite's quote-unquote rank system for such a long time. Hopefully it doesn't hit the boring point for him, since he's still new to the game, but he's, you know, sure that Apex will change it for the better. I'm kind of in the same boat as him. I think Apex will definitely change it. They have seemed to appreciate their fan base for the most part so far. But yeah, I mean, dealing with other games' rank systems, coming from someone who's dealt with a very poor rank system, and a rank system that has gone on for way too long without any proper changes, it is interesting kind of seeing this, that the pros in Apex are still unhappy with the rank system, even though many would consider it to be the best rank system in a battle royale game right now. I certainly would consider it to be the best rank format that we've seen so far. But of course, nothing's ever perfect, and there always can be changes to be made. So if you guys have any idea on what Apex can do to change things up a bit, to improve on things, or what they should be keeping the same, what they shouldn't, definitely let us know in the comments section below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to go check out some of our other Apex content. I'll leave a link in the description to a tier list we did for all the legends back in Season 11, so it's got everyone except for Maggie. Definitely let us know what you think about that video as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and we will see you guys in the next video. Peace.